Fab Studios presents Figure Action. That one's me.
What's going on, everybody? It's a little straight and to the point this evening, but we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. Anyway, if you're watching us here live on YouTube, make sure you hop over into that live chat. We love our audience. We love talking to you guys throughout the course of the show, getting you involved in discussions. And while you're at it, make sure you kielbasa slam that like button because it helps us out a lot. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you get alerted when we come out with additional content. I am going to be making a giveaway video this week for a Figure Action hoodie, long overdue. I have a.
I don't even have one of those.
My girlfriend has one, but I don't meet. We're exempt from entering. You're gonna have your wife enter for you, aren't you?
Wait, not tonight.
Oh Jesus! Oh. Anyway, we're Figure Action. We're a collectors podcast. We go live every Thursday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and you can watch us here on YouTube, and you can also check out previous episodes on the YouTube channel. Another great reason to subscribe. Anyway, let's find out how our limited cast is doing tonight. Starting off with Mr. Matt Partsformer. I see you're coming to a Disney Plus miniseries very soon.
I think I'm one of many. I think probably if everybody that's in the chat checks their mail, you probably have a letter from Disney saying that you're being made into a miniseries. Because for anybody that this show's being aired right as the Disney Plus investors meeting went down, and they announced all of the miniseries and movies and live action and animated shit that's going on, and it looks like years of awesome as long as they pull it off. But I have faith, so I won't get into that right now because we don't know a whole lot about it.
It's basically, to me, it's like, please buy our merchandise.
Pretty much, but that's what it's always been about. Mm-hmm. They're just more on the nose about it, and they don't mind that you know that. So I've been good. This week is my 4-day work week, and it's been awful because I've had to work 4 days this week. I'm done. I'm off tomorrow, but I had to work 4 full days this week, and it's been awful. Next week is 3. The week after that is 2, and the week after that is 1.5. And then I'm back to a full 5-day work week. But that's just me. That's how it's been. Besides that, what have I picked up? On Black Friday, Toy Dojo ran their Black Friday deal, so I went in and I got the Iron Factory duo here of Runamuck and Runabout. They are solid little figures that are every bit worth the sale price and not a penny more.
You like them?
I do like them. I like them for the price I got them. They're posable. The only thing is the Iron Factory Hound had an ab crunch where I've never had I know this mold was originally Sunstreaker. I never had that, so I didn't know if it had an ab crunch or not. These guys don't. Kind of wish they did, but besides that, they're pretty cool. They're boxy. If you know, Iron Factory boxy figures, but they're sturdy as hell. So I named this episode about going to empty shelves before pretty much everybody here found something that they were looking for. So it's Walmart of all fucking places too. So I just happened to go into Walmart after work yesterday. This is late. I went into Walmart at like 5 o'clock and grabbed this dude, which is the Walmart exclusive War for Cybertron Netflix Bumblebee. I have him now in his gold bug configuration with the backpack up over his head. Excellent little figure. Mini masterpiece. I'm sure T-Man will have a review coming very soon for him.
Did you have the Cliff Jumper?
I do have the Cliff Jumper. He's in one of my boxes over there. And then I also picked up for myself this one, Alita 1. I haven't decided whether or not I'm keeping her. So
open it.
Yeah. I might open it during the show. I might not. We'll see. I got the RC. I didn't like it. But I'm being told by very reliable T sources that this thing is worlds better than the RC. So I might take his word. What's
half
that?
A world.
Pretty much.
She's got a ball jointed head.
Yeah.
So she's got more balls than RC. Yes, this up front. This Bumblebee does look like the MP. It very much looks like the MP.
car mode, it definitely looks like.
Car mode, the only problem I have with car mode are there's like one or two rough spots in the transformation, at least on mine. It's not bad. It's just like, I don't know about yours, T, but do you ever notice, I might have to, you see that, the separation right there? That pulls apart on my figure when I'm trying to transform it. I might have to put a little dab of glue. See that?
No.
The seam?
The issue I was having is the rear half of the car on his back.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to like meet up with
all the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's in the fists, it doesn't, you have to like finagle it just right. There seems to be a little bit less of a room for error on the clearance for Bumblebee, but he does end up being a lot more solid figure. I think that's it. I didn't do a whole lot this week, nor did I get a whole lot of mail. So we'll call it there. If I think anything else, I'll interject. But I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, you know him, you love him, and you've probably clicked on a lot of his videos. It's Mr. T-Man 978T. How you doing tonight? And did you get anything cool?
Hello, everyone. I got Bumblebee, and I'm doing good, I guess. Here is the Bumble of Bees, and I have him with his gun that came with the Centurion drone. And yes, he is awesome. Review tomorrow. Unlike some Partsformers, I actually opened my Alita one, and I actually like her. Her parts are a little bit more stiff than she actually looks better than RC, and this is RC's body, so it's crazy. And I did get the Sound of Waves, who comes with Laserbeak and Ravage, which actually looks like a cassette.
The light piping is so good right there. It looks like his eyes are glowing.
Awesome light piping.
I think he looks a lot better with the red visor than the yellow visor ever did.
Yes, he should never have a yellow visor. That's because the light is pretty much right over my head almost.
Still, it's still catching it really well.
It didn't do that in my review. And I'm like, I have all those bright lights all around it.
You could edit this footage into your review. Upload.
If it didn't look like shit, I probably would. But well, that's all I got that I can talk about. And I always feel like I bought something else, but I know I went on a major hiatus of buying things last week until I found these, because of all the crap I had last week. Last week was my call, right?
Sportibus is asking, where's the Bumblebee logo, Autobot logo on Bumblebee? Show that off real quick if you got it.
It's on his feet, sees.
It's on his foot.
Just like the G1 toy.
We got a celebrity in the house.
Hey, Deluxe. We love you, and you are a celebrity. Don't pretend you're not. But that's it. What did you get, and how are you doing, Zero?
I am doing all right. It's been a heck of a week. I'm actually refinancing my house, so it's been a lot of stress around that. We're helping my girlfriend's parents move, and I'm hoping and praying that this week will be the last week of helping them move and get ready, because their time on their storage unit is running out. So I think it's like either they got to extend it or what's the saying, shit or get off the pot. So hopefully that's all wrapped up, and my weekends can go back to be doing stuff around the house and enjoying time with video games. I got a lot of stuff because I've been out. So I guess I'll start off with my Marvel Legends for the week. Well, not for the week. I don't get Marvel Legends that often, but I was fortunate enough to get Rogue, Storm, and Gambit on that buy two get one deal. I always wanted the Rogue and Gambit, never found them, and they're awesome. Only issue is that the Rogue I got, I'm hoping maybe I can find, if anybody in the comment knows like what sort of flesh-colored paint to use for Marvel Legends. My Rogue like has some serious, like somebody forgot the paint, either that or the paint's flaked off. And just got like a lot of yellow on the neck.
Oh yeah,
too noticeable.
That happened to my T-Pack Pyro and Rogue brogue. Her neck has a lot of green showing on her neck.
I'm assuming you weren't able to fix it.
New. I probably should have told Hasbro to send it back, but I lazy.
On Black Friday, Bluefin had a sale, and I'd been holding out on Sagat, but they had Sagat for $35. So actually, it wasn't even Black Friday. It was their Black Friday sale went live on, I think, Thanksgiving. So while we were waiting for Thanksgiving dinner, I bought him. He showed up. He's okay. I am very glad that I waited for a sale. Very, very glad, because he is like the least impressive of all of the Figuarts Street Fighter figures, like hands down. So, yeah, I think their sale's still live. But, for the longest time he sat on Amazon for like $60, $70. I was like, no, I'm not paying that. And I'm very glad I waited. Again, not bad. I'm definitely completing all the Street Fighter 2 characters. So bring on E Honda, bring on Zangief, Guile. No Effort Randomness randomly sent me a metalhead today. I'm very thankful for that. He is awesome. And my I gotta do like some sort of collection video for my stuff. So I show off my turtles and my Mortal Kombat and my Street Fighter displays, and then kind of give some updates on my Transformer stuff too. Let's see. I don't have him with me, but I have all three of the core class figures. When I say I don't have him, I don't have Optimus. He's in Scorponok's clutches on my shelf. So I have Vertebrake, Rat Trap, and Optimus is in the other room. And these things are pretty awesome. I actually think I like Vertebrake the best out of the three. And Rat Trap's pretty cool, but I'm not crazy about how they engineered his shoulders. But yeah, otherwise, I like them. Let's see, what else did I get? I got Gigawatt, and I like him. He looks good in hand. He looks terrible in pictures. I can't even say he looks good in hand. He looks decent in hand. He's fun. Save for that, the Mr. Fusion doesn't like to stay on, but I enjoy him.
He does what he needs to do, pretty much.
Basically, he's not as good as Ectotron. We'll put it at that. I got probably one of my favorite hauls of the week was the showed up today. This is the G2 Earthrise Megatron repaint, and I mean, I love me some G2. I also got this is also another awesome Megatron. It's funny, for so long we got like the worst Megatrons, and now we've been getting good Megatrons. And this one really surprised me. And this is the Generation Select Super Megatron, and I really like this figure. He's been on my desk all week. I haven't been able to put him down, and I love like when figures like kind of transform into their super modes. And yeah, this guy is just a ton of fun. I got him from Hasbro Pulse, and if you've been on the fence about him, yeah, he's a little waffly. He doesn't feel as well made as a lot of the Earthrise or Siege figures, but he's definitely a lot of fun. And he's got a lot of shelf presence. I can highly recommend picking him up. I also got a Lita 1, and I got a Bumblebee. I met up with T to get my Bumblebee, and I like him. And last but certainly not least, I got myself a Netflix Soundwave, and he is really, really cool. I have no complaints about this guy. I mean, I agree with some of the stuff that you said in your video, T, but I think he's a serviceable enough remold, and you get a good value with this guy, getting both Laserbeak and Ravage. And that's it. I also got Cyberpunk 2077 today, and I played maybe about 20 minutes of that, so I'm looking forward to hopefully maybe getting some time this weekend. Doug says, man, that Megatron stays at the Waffle House. Yeah, you'd like him if you got him. You put some syrup on him. Eat him up. All right.
So let's get Titan's return in disguise.
This is coming from Matty Deluxe Baldwin that recently acquired the Transformers Top Gun combo jet that really looks super plain, man. Like, and that's not even a joke. that wasn't even meant to be a joke. So you take that, you fly that thing to the Waffle House, man. You make sure you stop and get some paint on that thing.
Looks like he's made out of soap.
Or worse. Now I've seen some really good paint jobs on it on Instagram, but it don't come with that.
No. So let's get into some probably one of the most interesting pieces of news. It's like small but interesting, just because like the devil's in the details with this. We got a look earlier this week of the buzzworthy Bumblebee, which it's kind of like, what is this? Because it's not Kingdom. It just says War for Cybertron Trilogy. And this is obviously a smaller Bumblebee and a very, very small Spike. I like the fact that they have Spike with Wiki and not Autobot Spike. It's cool they got that going on there. I think this is maybe meant to scale with the Arc. I'd love to see, how big this thing actually is, and what I'm guessing that's the 3mm port on that gun.
I'm thinking it's smaller than Core Class.
Oh, it's got to be. I'd love to see like a return to mini bots.
I mean, that does look proper penny racer right there. I mean,
yeah,
it's certainly evocative.
And I just think it's kind of interesting that they're not slapping a Kingdom logo on this. This isn't meant for little kids. It's got an 8+ right there. So I'm kind of curious, is this what they're going to do to replace like the
Cyberverse?
Well, not the Cyberverse, but the MicroMasters. Is this what they're going to like? Because Kingdom doesn't have MicroMasters as the core class. So is this going to be part of Kingdom?
I bet you that's $10.
I'm sure it's $10, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be like the MicroMaster 2-packs, and I'm willing to bet this is probably how they're going to do the Earth versions of, like, they'll probably do a Rumble and Frenzy pack. They'll probably do Buzzsaw and Rat-Bat. So, and if they do a blaster for Kingdom, which I hope they do, because I'd love to have a little Voyager blaster. It would be nice if his cassettes came out in that capacity. Because I just, Sportimus says this has Yellow Banner. It's a subline, I think. And it could very well be a subline. I don't know. It's just kind of strange to me that it's not Kingdom. It's just kind of like, what is this? There's no, if you go to the back of the box, there's no cross-sell on here. It just looks like a strictly Bumblebee product. Maybe this is an evergreen product for all I know, where it's just like, hey, here's a cheap Bumblebee. Just kind of like how the core class Optimus Prime is like, hey, here's your cheap Optimus, your cheap Starscream, Megatron, etc.
I mean, cool right now too, there's no Bumblebees in mass retail. I mean, yeah, they're the Walmart exclusive, but that's an exclusive. Good luck. Right. Well, this is a way to get the character out. I mean, they say that there's certain characters they always want on the shelf, and you would think with Bumblebee's popularity right now, it's kind of crazy that he hasn't shown up in the main line. Now that they moved on from the Cyberverse stuff, or at least not as much. This might be a way to just get that character out.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how like neglected he was. It took like the last stretch of the War for Cybertron trilogy to even get a Bumblebee out. And if you're counting like the fact that the Netflix Wave 2 is coming out around the same time as Kingdom.
And yes, Sportimus is right. It does say War for Cybertron is the subline.
Right.
But like Jordan said, but where does this fit? What is this? There's no subline. It's not Kingdom. It's just weird. But then again,
the Netflix
Unicron wasn't a subline either. He was just War for Cybertron.
Right.
Don't know.
Netflix is just War for Cybertron as well.
That's true. I'm looking at the box.
And a lot of those, like the Odyssey thing, those just say War for Cybertron. But sometimes if you look at the instruction manual, it'll have E with the number that lets you know that it's Earthrise. So maybe we gotta wait for that. Maybe there's a little number on the instruction. Maybe not.
I think it's weird that his like name
sold at Family Dollar.
Maybe I don't know. I feel like this one like is a little bit too complex for like a Family Dollar.
And what the hell does buzzworthy even mean? I mean, I know what the word means, but what does it mean in this capacity?
It means one-off bumblebee that will drive people up the wall wearing where it fits.
I'm putting him with the Ark.
Yeah, I think that's where it's intended. I think.
Yeah,
It better
I think
only be $10, or I'm not buying it.
it comes out
You
at
say that.
$30. We get a video of T groaning in the store. I'm gonna wait for this going clearance.
All right.
Complaining about the music in the background.
Yeah.
You know what? I thought about you earlier too, and when I was going through like Cyberpunk. They actually have an option in the menus to turn off licensed music so streamers don't get in trouble.
And nudity. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, who would turn off nudity besides streamers? That's ridiculous.
What in the world? I need to fire YouTube. I'm getting a Optibotomist video suggested to me.
Hey, T, you should watch my video.
So Baldwin's got a good point. He said he's going to buy this Bumblebee and he's going to dedicate an entire DTOF shelf to him and Spike. And I think that's probably the way to go. I'm going to send you a link, Maddie, on some lighting from Amazon and these big spotlights that you can put one in each corner of the DTOF to point in at the figures.
He's just going to get a Spencer's Gifts and get like one of those like rainbow colored disco balls.
No, you got to do better than that. This has to radiate glory in this shelf, and I expect you to clean. I expect you to fucking dust it every single day and make sure it's spotless.
Put a lava lamp in there.
That's bonkers. That's craziness.
We got too much breaking news happening while we're talking.
We'll rely on you to keep us up to
I mean,
date.
do we have like more than 5 people in our audience right now?
Yeah, we got 15.
We do. We have thousands. Don't worry about it.
15,000.
I see they're showing a first look of the Marvel What If movie.
Yeah, the animated miniseries.
Well, let me go back to our chat.
I was going to say that's all the breaking news we have. Apparently,
I thought it was toy related. Well, we do have more official Transformers news. Cyberverse Adventures. It's not dead. They revealed 3 new figures. We've got Prowl. We've got Starscream, and we've also got Soundwave. What's interesting about these is they actually do not come with any Build-A-Figure. They actually come with additional effects pieces. In the case of Soundwave, it looks like he comes with Laserbeak. Hopefully that transforms. I think it would.
I don't think it's going to transform.
No, shit.
Don't jinx it.
What are we looking at, fellas?
I don't know. We're looking at the deluxe Cyberverse figures here. There's no Build-A-Figure, but they do have additional effects pieces. We did get a good look at the Starscream that's coming out. So, again, not run-of-the-mill snapping a cell phone picture so the boss doesn't see. And these look like official photographs here. We actually get proper null rays for Starscream with blast effects, and I think the coolest thing is he has this whole launching missile pod gimmick effect piece there. But that
stuff to have those blast effects, or is this something?
What was that?
Is it normal for the Cyberverse figures to have blast effects like that?
Yeah.
Normally
The deluxe class ones, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Normally
I like those.
They'd come with like one of these, but I guess the omission of a Build-A-Figure, they're just kind of going ham with them, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, the Shockwave, which I still haven't reviewed yet. Shockwave was really substantial compared to the rest of them. He had like the hose is a substantial piece, and he has a gun, even though he has the gun hand, which is actually optional, and he has a blast effect on top of that.
I'm glad to see this line continue because I think they were actually pretty underrated.
Actually optional, and he has Deja Vu.
Sorry, that was me.
All good. Well, I guess in between news, Joe, how the hell are you? And did you get anything cool?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I had a little busy afternoon. I had a friend that had a hot water heater go bad on him, so I was trying to fix them, at least get them out of a jam temporarily. But I got a gigawatt.
Nice.
And don't at me. I like the way that hood looks. I think I might keep it that way.
It also makes the transformation easier.
Yeah, because that was like kind of stressful, untabbing that, especially when you don't look at instructions because you pretty much know how this is going to transform because it's a remold. But it was a little stressful.
What if the Indians shoot it?
Then you think they really going to hit that with a bow and arrow? Come on, they ain't going to hit that. No, I really like this guy. The robot mode, I think we all pretty much agree that it makes us sad. But is this an issue for everybody?
Oh,
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because
You know why? Because you've got the chest. Because there's that tab.
yeah, the tab is
yeah.
on the flip side of the flux part of the chest.
I feel like it was doing that before, but I
think
thought
we
maybe
both
his
agree.
head was bumping up against the bottom of it, but it doesn't look. It looks like his head clears it.
No,
Yeah.
that's a tab like they're saying.
Yep. Once you put that tab in, I just tried it on mine.
I'm sorry we just took your good idea and just shat upon it.
But the tab goes on the other side. I don't understand what the difference that would make.
It's a magic tab.
All right, let's
No,
do some. I'll do some science and
Yeah.
I'll run an experiment.
Yeah. No, the tab. There's a big tab that goes underneath the bottom of the windshield.
Oh, gotcha. I see it. I see how. There goes the gun. I see how that'll work. Yep, you're right. Oh well. So it is what it is.
But at least it's not broke.
I'm gonna be different. I wasn't really like that upset with it because when it's sitting down on like your desk, it's not doing that. But when you lift it up and you start playing with it,
But it flies. It's supposed to be swooshing around.
It can still swoosh. Well, maybe that helps with the aerodynamics because it gives it a little bit more of a like slightly better, like the Concorde. Remember how the Concorde had that like droopy nose? See?
All right, you've scienced your way out of that one.
let's go with that. What else did I get? Oh, I finally got this guy. So I now have the whole set.
And you said you painted his face?
No, I didn't paint his face. I painted Blastoff's face, the alternate face.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the cartoon accurate face. So the one. Where's this original? See how the mouth piece is this like the same color as the top?
Yeah.
So I made it a little bit more tune accurate, and I painted the mouthpiece and the eyes so that it's a different color, a different shade.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it turned out okay. And if you really zoom in on it, it's not the best quality paint, but I think it turned out.
So are you going to combine your Bruder?
Yeah. Eventually, I'm going to get around to it. It's been a kind of crazy week, so I haven't gotten to it just yet, but I will.
You plan on it?
Yeah, I do. But I like them not combined.
Yeah.
And you like all the other combiners that I've had have been like this, to where once you get them combined, and at least the process of getting them combined has kind of taken a little bit of wind out of your sails a little bit. Like, and then once it's together, it's like a little ungangly, like getting them positioned just right, and you don't want to break them. You don't want to like put too much weight out. The arms usually don't hold up very well. The feet never seem to want to, like the hips are always a little wonky on combiners, at least in my experience. So I kind of feel like just leaving them, like they're expensive, so I don't want another set. But like if I had unlimited monies, then I would just get like 3 sets, have one combined, one in alt mode and one in bot mode. I like them in bot mode just the way they are. I'm not crazy about how the different heights, but I think that would be my display, which you can't see right now. But
I think there's just something cool about
the way they're
combiner
posed like that. I love it.
Yeah. Like having that team together, there's something to be said about it, because it's like you're saying, it's like, getting them combined, it's kind of a process. It's a little bit of a journey.
Yes.
But having like that.
And sometimes you have to put a lot of effort into snapping something or forcing something to, and it's like, am I doing this right? You don't know if you have something just a little bit out of position and you're going to push too hard and break something.
I'm not looking forward to the day that I combine up that MP scaled Devastator the MPM movie Devastator.
Mm.
I am looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to putting it together.
I feel like too that was the problem with one of the problems with that cell shaded Devastator that you bought. It's like it's really cool looking, but what the hell can you do with it? I mean, you didn't want to take it apart, you didn't want to screw it up the paint, you didn't want to stress anything. So
Exactly, it was one of those things where it's like once you had it, it's kind of like the Monster Arts figures. Once you get it into a nice little pose,
walk away.
You walk away. Don't go anywhere near it. But it was one of those things where it looked so awesome, you kind of wanted to play around with it all the time, and that's kind of why I ultimately ended up getting rid of it, because it was just such a big monstrosity that I really couldn't mess with often, or for fear of, like you said, messing up the paint or breaking a joint.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's someone else's problem now.
I do like the combiner team. I've like taken to doing the combiner teams. Like I'll do like the Zeta for my combine mode, and then like when the fans toys come out, I'll do those for my bot modes. And I feel a lot better. I mean, if fans toys even completes their 2 combiners, but I don't want to beat the dead horse about is fans toys dead or not.
Well, they've got a bunch of releases on. I doubt it. They're good.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Next, Flames Toys. This is going to be their next repaint cash cow. This is this is a model. It's painted up. This is a color picture of, I guess, a finished model of IDW Rodimus, and this looks really, really good. And I think if you passed up on, if you like didn't, if none of the MMC or the what was the other company?
Yeah, I can see it. They did the Mirage as well, but I can't remember what the hell the name of the company is.
Yeah, they also did SSX.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if neither of those options work for anybody, and they just kind of like want a Rodimus in the scale that's comic accurate, I think this would be a fine option for you.
He looks good.
Yep. So they got 2 more repaint options out of this one with Lost Light alternate colors and the evil mustachio.
Oh yeah.
Rodimus.
Yeah. Next up, I guess we got a little bit of a discussion. I can't show the trailer.
There's a new trailer?
We can
Oh,
talk
there's
about
a shit ton of new trailers.
We
Yeah.
can show it. They're just going to give us a little warning.
it. They might. Yeah, the last time we showed McFarlane talking about Spawn.
That's because it was a flesh-colored Spawn.
It
He was
was.
holding it next to his crotch. It got flagged as a penis. I'm telling you, it got flagged as a penis.
That should have been the title of the show. He got flagged as a penis.
Yeah.
We've got the trailer. I think this is dropping December 30th. So it's interesting.
I can do an imitation of this trailer.
I said we need to do our own dub of this thing.
I think we could do better. Like, it's not bad, and I don't want to shit all over the voice actors because it is what it is. It's serviceable, but damn, I wish they'd have taken some of the feedback from the first season.
Just think of how much dialogue or extra dialogue we could cram into this thing. Like the amount of time it takes for them to say like one little like 5-word phrase, we could fit like an entire conversation into that.
They might be doing that on purpose to save on the budget.
The padding, yeah. I mean, it is
that's their version of waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they were like, how do we take what was those machinima things that they did? They were only like 5 minutes long or 10 minutes long at most.
The Combiner Wars stuff.
Yeah, and they were probably just like, how can we make this a half hour? Oh, we'll just talk real slow. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing is something about that first season. Like, I realize G1 is full of repaints and clones and all that, but for whatever reason, man, that shit stood out like a sore thumb in that first season of this. I don't know why. It's just every background character that was the same, just, I don't know, grated on me. It's not like I should have expected any different, but...
If it was only COG, I wouldn't have had a problem, but when you have like 7 side swipes...
and they're like green...
Right.
Yeah, and you have like a yellow and orange hound in the background. That's pretty.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
But I say all that to say this: that I did enjoy the first season, and I am looking forward to this.
Let's see, can we give
I
some
mildly
screen
enjoyed it.
caps? But we get a look at the I think the Quintesson here.
Are you on YouTube?
I am on YouTube.
If you use J and L, you can scrub forward and backwards.
Oh,
I hope
Like
they
10,
don't.
I think it'll go like 10 seconds.
yeah. So we get they're in jail now. We got some, I guess.
But there's a good example.
Yeah.
There's our iron
Yeah.
our ironhide ratchets in the background there.
Those will be an easy custom for people that don't. Of course, we get Sideswipe and Chromia and Jetfire still on Cybertron.
You know what? 20 years from now, kids are gonna want those ugly repaints from the background.
I mean, 20 days from now. What are you talking about?
So the fun part here is we get Nemesis Prime, which was in the spoiler pack, and everybody was like, "What the hell? Why is he in the spoiler pack?" And it wasn't labeled Earthrise. So I'm wondering if he's now going to be in demand.
Well, now he's a spoiler right here.
Well,
Yeah, right.
once they have a reason to care, he'll be in demand.
What if he's in there as long as
What is this
Dark
scene
Ray
about?
was?
Something about time travel. I'm guessing that they're just going to have like season 3, G1, and Beast Wars all kind of collide.
Yeah, like are they going to do like a Spider-Verse thing where the different realities are going to combine?
And that's where I assume Kingdom came from, or is going to come from. So
Yeah.
Then
Maybe.
next year is going to be Armada after Kingdom.
and the circle will continue.
Yeah, that's right. It's like it's been almost 20 years since Armada, which is crazy to believe because like when Armada was out, I was trying to wrap my head around the fact that it had been almost 20 years since G1.
What he said about Dark Ray. What if that the Optimus? What if the what do you call it? The Nemesis Prime shows up, like flips out this double-barreled ion cannon, like hisses at regular Optimus, and then cuts away, and that's it. That's all we see of him.
It wouldn't surprise me because it's like this is going to be what 6 episodes, and I think the general consensus amongst all of us was that they just didn't have enough time with the material they had.
And that doesn't make sense because streaming can be any number of episodes at any length of an episode. That's the beauty. You don't have to cram it in a time slot.
I think that's the problem. Like, the whole joke about waffles a minute ago kind of really resonates when it's like Hasbro's kind of like, oh, well, we should have a Transformers series. Well, what can we do? The Machinima stuff didn't work out. So, hey, Netflix, here's $5. What can you do?
But like
All I know
Mandalorian
is-
can be 35 minutes an episode. Mandalorian can be 50 minutes an episode. Whatever they
Disney's,
need.
Disney's not willing to throw money at something. That's the thing. Is like they have non-union actors. I mean, the animation is better than the Machinima stuff, but it's definitely reusing assets left and right. It's
If at any point though they hold up a random piece of scrap metal to line up with some wreckage in the distance to find the Allspark, and they just need to just delete the franchise and start over.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that happened in Rise of Skywalker.
I think
It did.
Hasbro didn't plan this out soon enough. Well, they should have been had it in the works as soon as they started designing these toys and whatnot.
Well, yeah, especially since they just took the CAD files from the toys and made those into their character models.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I mean, for better or for worse, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's like the toy designs are great. They translate pretty well into show characters. But like, I remember when we first saw the 3-0, I guess are they 1/6 scale? No, they're not 1. I think maybe they are 1/6 scale, or maybe they're their deluxe scale. But it's just like you're basically paying for a non-transforming version of a character that was on a show or it was based off the toy. It's like, why do you even need the 3-0 version?
Yeah, but I like that they literally do use those same CAD files that they use to design the toys in the show, because I would rather have that than have a show with a really awesome character design, and then when they make the toy, they have to make all kinds of concessions in order to make the engineering work, and it ends up looking nothing like it.
There is something kind of neat about seeing like a 1-to-1 representation of something you own. It's like
right down to the screw holes and the ports and everything. Like it's all there. I mean, it's crazy how accurate they are and slavish they are to the original design, which is great.
Well, they did make Alita 1 and RC look better.
They did.
They fudged them backpacks.
Yeah.
They probably didn't have toy designs. They probably just had like the prototypes, because it's just like, any of the Hasbro prototypes look great before they start having to cut corners.
They didn't have Bumblebee, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, Bumblebee is completely different. So.
Well, Bumblebee's completely different. Season 1 Bumblebee may end up being different than Season 2 Bumblebee eventually ends up. So we'll see. I wouldn't make that call just yet.
In this trailer, they didn't really show any of the new Earth modes, did they?
No.
It's still Siege.
That was the crazy thing, is that like they barely transformed in the first season. Like, and if they did, they transformed for the most part off camera.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Jetfire and Prime were the only two that.
And they walked everywhere. Why did they walk around all the freaking? Do they not realize they can turn into a truck and drive?
They can roll.
It hurts my tires.
They didn't have Wheeljack's car mode, so they couldn't do that.
Transformers slowly walk away.
That was like it's kind of like the inverse of like what we were just talking about Armada, but like the whole Armada trilogy, like they definitely loved padding the episodes out with like showing the characters transform. Like they'd cut away and they'd have like their intricate transformation animations, and they'd show that.
They could reuse that footage over.
Oh
and over.
yeah,
it's the Voltron combination sequence,
Yeah.
I used to love it during Cybertron. Even I later that people hated that, but I used to love seeing their transformations in Cybertron. I thought it was funny when, like, after a few episodes, because they used to just show the footage, but then they used to force them to start talking, having banter while they're transforming. That used to be hilarious.
And give it to Beast Wars too. Beast Wars leaned into that shit. Like they would transform left and right and have it all. Yeah. They didn't have that same spiel it was all right in frame. It wasn't like this swooshing effect to this pre-rendered.
I mean, the crazy thing about Beast Wars though is the first season is 23 episodes.
26.
20. Oh, you're right. That's back when they did 13 episode seasons. So it's like they had canned all of the transformations, and I guess they probably just had them. I forget what the term is. It's been a long time since I actually did anything with animation. Well, it's like you can have like a prefobbed animation. It's similar to like a tweening effect, where basically you just kind of press a button and the sequence happens.
Yeah, that's like what they did. They transformed the exact same way every time.
It would be great is like they just took their they took the animations, like based them off of the instructions for the toys. And then you see like the animators fudging steps in Earthrise.
Have they officially said that Earthrise is going to be 6 episodes? Because that's not enough.
They haven't. And let's see, does the article say anything? No. Just says
I was feeling they're not going to go to Earth either. I'm like, why are they calling it Earthrise? But all the look like little storylines are not on Earth.
Yeah, I think they're just calling it Earthrise because hey, that's what the second the second wave of toys was called, or second series of toys was called. I mean, they teased Unicron here. I think they're just going to go right into Kingdom.
I mean, even the toys, all the stuff that comes in the box say that they're in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just going to be like at the end of the season they actually get to Earth, and everything will take place in space or on other random planets.
I guess it would have to be like 1980s Earth, because how the hell do you explain?
And he looks just like the toy. The spikes are the exact same.
Yeah, they're probably using the same. I wonder if he'll have the big ass backpack too.
He better.
Yeah, I imagine it probably will.
Yeah, and then they'll justify it because the other people go, "Well, it is show accurate."
Yeah, I'll be happy about that.
You'll be
Shut
happy
up.
about people saying that, or
No, happy that it's a thing and nobody can complain.
yeah.
I'm going to get a ton of comments about that. I still get comments on my Optimus Prime videos from over a year ago about the backpack. I'm like, Jesus, y'all act like it just came out.
Well, for some people, they want to know where they can buy it. How long
No,
is
they
Egypt?
come there specifically to complain.
Siege
It
episodes
costs too
were
much.
like 20 minutes and change, right?
Yeah, I think they were 22 minutes a piece.
Is that Windblade?
I think it's RC.
Behind
No.
Optimus Prime?
No, that's Sideswipe, Hound,
That's
Bumblebee.
Sideswipe? It don't look like Sideswipe.
It looked like to me he has the handcuffs on. It looks like Sideswipe, Hound, Bumblebee, Ironhide, and RC was right there where the pointers
Yeah, I see RC.
There's Wheeljack right there. I can't tell if that's Cog or not.
That's probably another Hound.
Probably.
You know what? It could be Red Alert.
Yeah.
No, he's still on the planet. He's still on Cybertron.
Oh,
Yeah,
is he?
Chromia, Jetfire, and Red Alert stay behind. Sporters, I hate to break it to you, but anything that HasLab funds eventually blows up.
Yeah.
Or has blown up.
We were talking about that right before we got online.
I guess the thing is with Earthrise, it's like it's gonna be on Netflix. We all have access to it. We're all gonna watch it. We're all going to talk about it.
It's going to be a thing.
I think Siege was the last thing I watched on Netflix.
There's some good stuff on there.
I'm gonna go back to
moved on to HBO Max and Disney.
Oh yeah. For anybody thinking about buying Cyberpunk, the physical copies come with a 30-day trial of HBO Max. So buy Cyberpunk, you also get to see Wonder Woman.
All right, what this is.
So Fans Hobby now has painted pictures of their naval commander. This was supposed to be out this year, but it got pushed back to the end of January. So this is a nearly finished prototype here. We've looked at this before. Last we had some color prototype pictures, and this looks like it's probably going to be the final version. And not going to dwell on this one too much, but just, again, talking about Armada. And this is looking pretty damn good. I've had this on pre-order with Nate. Again, check out Nate's Toys and Collectibles. You can get this through him. He's got a good price on it. But yeah, I'm thinking this is looking pretty good. But Fans Hobby isn't just stopping with their Optimus, because they are also doing an Armada Megatron. I think these were the previous pictures we had. These are like the original prototype pictures, like way back. And now we actually have some prototype. I guess this is a resin prototype. And we see the robot mode and how it compares to both the core mode and the combined mode. And I think this looks pretty awesome. I'm not too sure about the ears on this guy, though. I hope those aren't final. But I still think it looks really, really good.
If nothing else, I'm probably going to pre-order that Megatron. I've been wanting a super articulated version of that guy since the Atari game came out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember that game fondly.
No, I remember at the fighting him on the game, it made me break out the Armada toy, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, he sucks."
I saw that.
Says, I don't know if I'm late on this one. Did anyone notice that the Trailbreaker on the side of the Earthrise box is the old generations one? I have not noticed that.
In Big and Me, because I have the box right here. And
check that out.
If I can get it to focus.
Yeah, the chest. I remember seeing
that.
Wow,
yeah. That is crazy. That's
Good
like
find.
the IDW Trailbreaker. Yeah.
They didn't know what he's going to look like. Or
I mean,
they didn't want to spoil it.
They got this right.
Yeah, that artwork's right, but wow, I didn't notice that on the on
speaking
the
of Trailbreaker, while we're talking about him, we should bring up that mod and show everybody that mod that's on Dame Chalk. I think I'm going to do that. I think
I
I'll
might do it too.
In the chat.
I think I'm going to use Hoist as a guinea pig.
Yeah, that was Lazy Eyebrow that did that, right?
Sure.
I don't know who did it. I just saw that it was Dame. It was on Dame's Facebook.
Yeah.
Dame.
If he did a good job.
Here we'll go over to the Dame Chalk reporting because yeah, so we don't normally cover mods on here, but yeah,
this one was necessary.
Yeah.
But it's so necessary that it almost seems like so
why
obvious.
Didn't Hasbro?
Why didn't no one think about that?
Yeah.
When they were designing the toy, like, that's a good idea.
They probably did, and then they cheaped out.
I know it. It's just like one of those things where it's like, man, it's so minimal. I mean, Trailbreaker is already he's a good figure. Jonathan Walker, yes, there is a mod for the and you can go in Dame Chalk reports, and this is from Lazy Eyebrow Revealer. All really needs to be done is you can see right there below those two dots on the shoulder armor, or I guess the back
plate.
Look
at the picture. They show where it's cut in the car mode. Right there.
Yeah. All you're doing is cutting it right there and gluing it permanently onto the leg,
which I think looks better. I think his leg looks better like that.
Way better. And that now, granted, that cut, if depending on what you use to cut that, you could. It doesn't have to be that thick. Like it almost
potentially looks like make that seamless. Yeah.
Yeah. It almost looks like he used like a freaking like a hacksaw or something, like a big. It's something a little finer blade. Like I don't know if you could do it with an X-Acto knife or just something.
You can do it with a Dremel. You could take the little disc cutter with the Dremel.
Yeah, the disc, the real thin disc.
Yeah, and then transform him into alt mode, and then just have it placed exactly right, and glue that sumbitch down.
Yeah,
and you good to go. I think this is doable.
Yeah, I'm gonna try I might try to find another Trailbreaker first. He hasn't been flooding the stores yet, so.
What about Hoist? You got a Hoist?
Hoist is supposed to have flaps.
Cut your Hoist up. Practice on him. You can get another Hoist easily. They're all over the place.
That's true.
Perfect the process and then do Trailbreaker.
I think the issue here is he could hit that with some compressed air. Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and you can smooth down the edges. It looks like the cut is still a little rough, but
round that off just a little bit, and you got it. I mean, like I said, I think the legs look better a little bit thicker like that. I think it gives a little bit, almost like a armored plate look. That I think maybe his legs were even a little skinny to begin with, which I know the original toy had that, but that doesn't mean that this has to.
Mm-hmm.
You just get your little kit, your Gundam. Or your model kit snipping tool that tend to come with like the sanding pads. You could easily...
You know what? Go back to the picture of the right there. Okay, so you can't make that side any longer because it would be hitting the it would hit his feet. So you have to cut it there. I'm
guessing that's why he opted to leave this. They're still a little bit behind his shoulder. That's why.
Yeah, if you go back to the picture we were just at. The other way.
That's where one's done and the other is still hanging off.
Yeah, go back again to the other one. Yeah, here. So I was thinking, like, if you could go to that body line right there at the cab, like right to the left of your mouse, that would be ideal because then you've already got a seam there. But then it wouldn't work with his feet.
Actually, what you need to do is transform into car mode, right? And there's the bottom of the foot, and you can figure out what the bottom of the foot is. Take a
right there.
Right, score it right there and then go cut it. Yeah.
And And that way you get it as clean as possible.
So
I'm gonna
T's
do
going to actually do this and then film a how-to, and he's going to release it on his channel.
Honestly,
Do it live.
honestly, if you did that, you would probably get a lot of hits on your channel.
And give this
Yeah.
dude all the credit. You know, he
Yeah.
came up with it.
I'll do a live video. I'll put it in a bench vise and I'll get like a 12-inch like reciprocating saw and just
You get your
Bring us
Tesla, your Elon Musk flamethrower, and you're just going to go right down
don't
the
say that. I
chimney.
don't have one. I wish I
I
did.
know. I wish you did too.
Bring this up after the show.
All right. The flamethrower or trailbreaker.
Trailbreaker.
All right.
We might
All
also mention the flamethrower again.
Moving on. We got a company we don't talk about too much, and I put this in the notes also because this company has a tendency of doing knockoffs. That's Mech Fans Toys. They've got a Skull Cruncher coming out. It's just appropriately named Crocodile. Matt, is this a KO of anything?
It's not screaming to me KO of anything, but I do see a lot of bits in here of the Generations, or not Generations,
Yeah.
the Headmaster one. Yeah, Titan's Return one. I do see some striking similarities here, but as far as the mold, like a direct one-to-one KO, I don't think it is.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah,
similarities to it, but I
It
mean,
looks
how
directly like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I looked at pictures of it, and it is a little bit different. Like the head's different, the
But
claws
that
are
tail
different.
section looks dead
the-
on.
Nah, the tail's
The
different
sculpting is
because
different, but the actual engineering looks the same.
well, he's kind of like Grimlock, though. If you think about it, like there's really
not
only
much difference.
yeah. only one way to really do it.
No, this is so they've been releasing their own the line that they've been sort of edging out little by little here has been their own original stuff more or less, and I guess this is just more of the same. They've been doing this with the Headmasters here lately. So, if this is a KO of something, I'm not aware of it.
But man, this looks pretty good. Now, Robert
Is it
D.
little?
It's little. It's a Legends class. Remember that 6-shot that I gave you?
Yeah,
It's same. It scales to that.
it must be really little.
But I don't know. Personally, the Headmasters don't really do it for me, so I'm not super into these guys. But if you like them, cool. Here you go.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Main
Next
thing I
up-
used to like about them as a kid is I always wanted the Transformers to have pilots.
Yes. They kind of tick the box of not having human characters.
And then you got the G1 Dinobots in hand, and you're like, "Oh, look, little cockpits!" And they didn't give you anything to put
Right.
in them, and you're like, "Why? I want
The
these
problem
things to have
is-
pilots."
I handled I guess somebody must have got one of the Diaclone Seekers before they came out. So I handled that, and they came with the little Diaclone man. And I was like, why don't all of them come with this?
Because they wanted to teach you about disappointment very early in life,
They did.
and you learn that lesson time and time again now, as an adult.
You know, it's funny. Speaking of being taught disappointment over and over again in life, you guys, anybody remember the game Myst?
I
It was
never
like a-
played it, but I remember it.
I remember a movie about Myst.
Did they make a movie? It was like Stephen King's The Mist. No, like MYST.
You're talking about the puzzle game.
Yeah, it was like a point and click puzzle game. You looked at pictures of it, you thought it was like a really good looking first person game, and then you play it, and it's just like a click through adventure. I just got an email saying like, "Hey, we've ported Myst to Oculus."
Everybody's been asking for that. If you've been on the internet ever, go on the internet and look, and that's like the number one thing that gets Googled.
When's Myst going to be on Oculus?
Yes. And
I want
the
to know when they're
sequels,
going to
there's more than one.
have text adventure games on virtual reality.
They already do.
Do they?
Yeah, but what's crazy is you like walk up to a computer and you actually type in virtual I'm not even making it up.
Are you serious?
I'm 100%. Like you walk up to the computer, like they have virtual reality pinball, and like so Pinball FX released a whole thing for VR, and it just projects the table in front of you. It's actually really cool, but it's like
That's funny.
yeah. Well, what's cool about it
That
is you
game
can.
that was on the movie Big, was that a real game?
I can't remember.
I
This
didn't
is-
have a PC, so I was like, is this real?
This is how civilization collapses.
Virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to get the Galaxy's Edge game and play that. But actually, for those that know me, I have PlayStation 3, Xbox Series X, and I have Oculus Quest. If like you can't get a PlayStation or you can't get an Xbox and you want something next gen, get the Oculus Quest 2. It's amazing. I'm not even kidding. People are overlooking it. It's starting to sell out now. It's getting hard to find, but like that's been probably one of my favorite pieces of technology I picked up this year. Don't get me wrong, I love my PlayStation 5, but the Oculus Quest 2 is really, really cool.
Must be nice.
Is it like a dedicated thing though, like a standalone platform, or
It's both. It's a headset you can use on your PC,
okay?
and you can also use it as its own dedicated platform. And what's actually really cool is if you're familiar with like VPCs, there's a program you can get called Virtual Desktop, and you can actually remotely connect to like a VM or your computer, so you can get completely wire-free VR. So I've been playing Half-Life Alyx through mine, which has actually become my game of the year. Which, if anybody's played Half-Life or Half-Life 2, when you see City 17 in virtual reality, that's like, to me, that's like the Mario 64 moment that I was looking for in gaming for like the past 25 years. Like where you're, like I think the first time, everybody can kind of remember the first time they played Mario 64, and we're like, wow, this is nuts.
You started by tugging that nose on the start screen.
Yeah, or just being able to move Mario around in a 3D space. And it's just kind of crazy. Like I've played a lot of virtual reality games, but like playing Half-Life in virtual reality, it's something else.
I was spoiled with Mario 64. I played the whole game basically in Blockbuster Video.
Can you just go the extra mile and put a sock on?
Exactly. That's what we should do, is chip in for Christmas and get T, like a puppet version of himself. So he can basically take up like he can be like the toy reviewer version of Arlo that Felsbug was never able to be.
I don't know.
Still make videos. I was like, wait, right?
He already plays with himself too much.
All right. Well, let's move on. We've got more World War II series coming from Toy World. It's their World War II hot rod, which comes with Anthony Hopkins' desk. Yay. Which this face sculpt seems really off to me. I don't know. I wish these were movie masterpiece scaled. I wish they were a bit bigger. I actually recently sold off my Toy World World War II stuff. I just had Bumblebee and Bulldog. But
you really like them though?
I liked them, but they were just too small. They weren't, because there's a lot of die cast on plastic, the joints kind of wear out really fast, so I had to use Kiwi to fix them. But they are not fun to transform because of the size. They have the same level of complex transformations as like an MPM figure does, but because their tabs are so geeky. because the tabs are so small, like there's like this sense that like there might be a fragility to them. I don't know.
Speaking of the Kiwi, I got some, and I don't know if it was just a perspective, like camera trickery, but my bottle seems very small. Is there different sizes, or is this
Nope.
right?
That's it.
I
that's right.
swear when Matt was showing it, it was like a decent size, like, and I get this, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like travel size kiwi oil?
I mean, mine looks bigger on camera. I can tell that for sure, but it's sort of disappointing in real life.
Yeah, I know. From experience.
Did you guys know that's something you can do in Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Apply Kiki to your joints.
You can actually adjust the size of your nethers.
Oh,
I
okay.
heard you could do that on a Conan game.
I know you could do it in Saints Row.
When
But
does
Saints-
that ever become a thing, though? When do you see it?
There's a lot of nudity in Cyberpunk. I'll leave it there.
So it's not like The Sims, but it's
No.
just Barbie dolls.
No, you can set it like that though. That's one of the accessibility
Yeah.
settings for streamers. Is you can turn the nudity off, and I guess it'll do that, just like the music. The music thing is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I never would have thought to do that. So that's
Like T
Really
should
good.
walk into Walmart and be able to toggle like I'm filming a toy review, turn off your damn licensed music,
yeah.
or I'm filming a toy hunt.
I still don't know why we got flagged for using that. What the hell was that? I can't remember what the hell it's called.
You might could afford it and said fair use or something.
The McFarlane thing.
No, the music.
Oh, Tom Petty.
No, not Tom Petty. The
Little Spanish Flea.
yes, Little Spanish Flea. I don't know why we got slapped on the pee for that.
We've been flagged before too for Jordan's little Simpsons clips that he's had on there before.
Oh yeah.
I think we have like the highest
But I fixed
amount
it.
of copyright flags to like viewer ratio in all of YouTube.
You think so? That could be.
We probably do.
But I
So-
mean, I fixed it. I removed the Simpsons clip.
Here's a little more breaking news. I just got an email that says, "Congratulations from Best Buy. I just won a PlayStation 5." The weird thing is
click
though
on that.
that I don't. There's no sender. It's like it's from the internet, and
should-
I just
It's
I-
not from
look
Best
at
Buy.
that. Look at that. There's Best Buy logos there.
Oh, you have to answer. You have to take that survey.
You should,
yeah,
like-
but I'm one of the 10 lucky winners.
The first question is, what is your social security number?
Man, this is super legit. Like this is the.
Why are there three S's
That's
in
when your
Best Buy?
Hotmail account.
It's the Cobra Commander version. It's Best Buy.
I feel bad for people that fall for that crap.
What do you mean? My PlayStation 5 is on the way. They told me it was.
When some like Armenians show up at your front door and show you the deed to your house and kick you out, and don't be surprised.
We want it.
As long as
fair
they
and
hand me a
square.
PlayStation 5, I'll rebuild the house. You know, the PlayStation 5 is
They're-
the hard part. The house
they're gonna
will
hand
come
you
later.
They're gonna hand you a PS2 and a PS3 duct tape together.
Duct tape together. Yeah.
You know what's sad is I read an article the other day about this guy who 10 years ago, he's like 25 now, or he's almost 26, but like he sold his kidney for an iPhone 4, and he's like having all these major health problems now.
For an iPhone 4. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lesson there. That's a
At
learning
least-
experience.
At least if you get a new next gen console, you get a little bit of life out of it. If it
Right.
doesn't,
A
like,
cell phone.
you know, but a cell phone's gonna, there's gonna 6 months later. We'd like to introduce the best phone we've ever made, the iPhone 4 Plus. Yay!
It's just kind of a funny matter of perspective. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, you know, that he wanted a product that bad, and you know, like the product's worthless now. but it's just, it's like perspective is, it's like FOMO really is a beast.
Not
like,
worth a kidney. No.
You're right. I guess it's like,
No.
Not worth a
Yeah.
kidney.
Not worth body parts. Maybe using body parts, as long as they're still attached to your body, using them in like in ways you wouldn't normally think to use them to acquire some extra cash. Hey, go for it.
So you've intrigued me there. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
When you said ways you wouldn't normally use them,
I'm just saying.
like we rerouted your urethra into your fingertips, so now you can pee in public by pointing.
You know what? You make a
We'll
good
talk
point
about that
there.
after the show.
You get there. There's always some kind of thing floating around where you can like some dumbass scientist will pay you $1,000 to like lay in a bed still on your, for like 48 hours or something dumb like that. Like there has to be a better way to come up with money than selling your kidney.
Selling your kids?
Yeah, sell your kids.
You can make more of those.
Sell your
You
kids.
can't make another kidney.
Yeah.
You can make
Cup.
more kids,
Hey,
and
look,
it's
it's
fun to
cup.
make them.
So yeah, X-Transbot's lock. He should be
we're
coming
supposed to
out.
talk about toys. That's right.
He should be coming out like any day now. And sell your kids. kids in quotations. Human trafficking on figure action. Come on now.
And we're flagged again. Damn
we're
it.
flagged again.
I think he's referring to your liquid kids, though.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the pre-kids.
Oh.
Other kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, you're doing it anyway. You might as well get paid to do
So
it.
Sportimus, when I first read this, I thought professional smuggler is probably a good idea, but his is even better suggestion. Professional snuggler. You are 50% less likely to be boarded by the Empire if you're a professional snuggler.
Yes. Now, does that mean are you prefer the little spoon or the big spoon?
I think it's probably dealer's choice.
It's a Han and Chewie situation.
I'm gonna skip cup because
Really?
I got a cup.
Man, I was gonna ask you because this ticks so many boxes. The Fans Toys version, I think, fell flat on.
This looks better. The backpack looks a million times better, and it has better. It has an ab crunch, and it looks like the ankle pivot might be better.
It definitely is. Look at that right there.
I think it's $150.
160. Yeah.
Yee, that really meets my skip limit.
I mean,
for something that size.
Fans Toys, they retain their value. This looks leaps and bounds better than the Fans Toys one, but it's just end of the day, it's this is you'll find this probably a year from now for 90.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fans Toys one, it's because of who it is, it's going to stay where it's at.
I love this thing, and I have them on pre-order.
If I can sell Coot for the same price,
you probably could.
And Fans Toys Cute used is going for, I see, $150 and $205 for a sealed one.
What was Coot MSRP?
I think it was $90.
Okay. I agree, though. 160 is steep on this, considering their Skids was 90, their Toro was 80. Now I know Toro's a mini bot, but Skids isn't. What else do I have? I have their Sea Spray. That doesn't count. Still, I think 160 is maybe pushing it, considering the accessories with this don't really pan out to be that much, in my opinion. But
Fans Toys Galvatron was 160 this year, right?
Yeah, he was. Depending on your retailer.
Right. But this thing, I don't know. When we first saw pictures of it, I thought, if this guy comes with a cigar face, then I might want to do it. And sure as shit, he certainly does.
If you don't have it, I say get it all day.
I don't have a cup. Yeah, I don't have any cup. Masterpiece cup.
I'm just shocked you are willing to pay that money. Because it's basically just a carbon.
God, looking at the backpack on the Fans Toys one, it's just, ew. I think the gun on this guy looks infinitely better too.
I heard he comes with two Target Masters? Is that
He does. Yeah, because
have
like
they shown them?
yes.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is he actually comes with so he comes with his Target Master and he comes with one for Hot Rod, which is actually pretty awesome because if you never got, and it's not on TFW, but if you never got the Target Master Hot Rod, then they've got you covered here because
this was made to fit with that one, the one without.
And
I wonder if they're better than Fans Toys.
I have several of the X-Transbots Target Masters, and I think that tolerance-wise, they're better than Fans Toys. Like they don't feel like any of the joints feel like they're gonna break on them out of the box. Like the problem with the Fans Toys ones is the ball joints are typically like stupidly tight or caked in paint.
Right.
And these typically are like not painted outside the face.
I have a question or questions.
Sure.
Mhm.
And I figure it's about time we get to this because it's only been, 34 years? Why did he have a cigar? Where did he buy said huge cigars? And if he doesn't have lungs, how does he like actually use a cigar?
This
Well,
was less than 34 years. It started in the IDW comics.
You don't
When he
hail
actually
cigar.
had a cigar?
Yeah. Apparently he was
cigar.
insane or something, and he needed to suck on the
Oh,
cigar to stay sane or some crap. Which some people say that's why they need cigarettes.
I mean, I don't really need a backstory or a reason. I just think it looks cool. But here is a IDW. It's not the best quality, but there he is with it.
Yeah, Kotegi says
Cigar. They probably want him to be like something from the 80s, just like he is. Like the guy from A-Team.
Yeah, like yeah.
Was that Face?
No,
No.
it's not Face.
So this is basically the first e-cigarette. Basically.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Hannibal from the A-Team. Of course.
I think e-cigarettes were already out when they stole that idea.
So Perceptor developed a cigar to deliver a dose of contents of whatever to Cybertronians through their mouth. So what is? I'm not gonna read any further into that.
What cup is an insane hooker? What's
I mean, I'm a cheap bastard. You know, 160 is gonna hurt, but I like to look at this. And for my money, all the XTV figures that I own are among my favorite MP figures that I've got. So
Jedi Mindset chimed in and said 120 is a good price for that. And I'm inclined to agree. And if they had come out of the gate with that, I'd probably be like, you know what, maybe I can replace Coot. Maybe that's like, you know.
I wonder what shows he has him for, out of curiosity.
I guess the question would be if we ever get to go to TF cons again in physical form, will you be able to work out a deal on that, or will it sell out?
We bring over our good buddy Deluxe Baldwin and be like, look, if you give us this deal, Matt will sign your chest.
And he will do it. Because I've always seen, every time we go to the Comic Cons, I've always seen a good bit of X-Transbot stock. It doesn't seem like they're usually like selling out really super fast.
They fluctuate in price and they mostly go down. I think this year's been kind of weird for them, and I haven't. That was like the craziest thing was like during Black Friday, it seemed like Fans Hobby was the only company that was coming out with actual good sales on their products. Everybody else was kind of like sticking to like their MSRP.
TF Stores usually has some pretty good sales, but it's always for shit that you don't want and no one ever wants to buy.
They did have the wind charger for $25, but that was about it.
Recently, it seemed like their sales are regular price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you showed me that the other day. You're like, look at the sale price. It's retail. Yay. Just for shits and grins, X-Transbox cup is $151 on Shozi. So there's your discount.
Ooh. Yeah, that's $9.
How much was Scourge?
God.
Wait, the X-Transbots one?
Yeah.
They upped the price.
170 on Shozi.
Let's see. Let's see what I paid for Andrus back in the day. Yeah, so back in 2015, I paid Manolo $130 for Andrus.
I mean, this is the same company that's delivering us Dr. Egg for $180.
All right, well, I got some great
Keep that in
news
mind.
for you. You can get X-Transbots cup on Amazon Japan for $126.96.
After shipping?
Unfortunately, you will have to pay an additional $57.71 to ship it. Because it's 13,200 yen plus 6,000 yen. So unless another, like, I don't know if this is going to come into a Amazon Japan stock or something like that, where you can avoid that shipping fee. But the selling price is good.
Amazon Japan doesn't typically sell third-party direct.
Yeah.
This is
a third-party seller.
You might not even be able to get it shipped.
From WS Toys.
Oh yeah, I see that.
World's smallest.
This is, for them, it says this item will release on April 30th.
It doesn't say you can't. It says book now, which pre-order now. It doesn't say it won't ship. It says it can deliver to the United States, but the price is, after shipping, the price ain't going to be great.
$18,979 total. Let's see what that comes out to.
18,979, 182.54. Yikes!
Ortimus thinks it's going to sell out.
So yeah, I'm going to switch over to that one. That's a good. I want to pay $20 extra.
I mean, you could always move to Japan, and oh wait a minute, there's other listings here.
That was
there's
the cheaper
shipping.
one.
I don't see any with free shipping or less shipping.
I'm going to delete that out of my cart before I accidentally buy it.
That almost happened to me one time. Like something from months ago is still in my cart.
What about Nate? Nate, can you get this? Is Nate on that night? Is he in?
I think Nate probably can.
Dude, he hasn't. He posted
everything.
some Marvel Legends here lately, but I haven't seen him post any third-party stuff for a while. So maybe he's still catching up on the old backlog.
Yeah.
Nate, I'd like you to post this.
I know.
For $120.
Yes, do it, Nate. $120.
Andros through him was cheaper than what that price you get.
Subsidize the sale price of this, Nate, with your Marvel Legends. Just start charging $40 for Marvel Legends, and that'll cover it.
And these Marvel Legends are mostly cool. MODOK has a changeable faceplate, and he looks really detailed for a Marvel Legend.
This is going to show for him.
Isn't MODOK $50?
Yes.
Well, actually, you know what? Maybe it won't because people just wanted the Deadpool.
Yeah.
And they didn't get the 2-pack because it was hard to find.
But you don't get that unicorn. You got to buy your own unicorn.
But they painted all the hands, so there's that.
I heard in one movie he had the silver things, in another movie he didn't.
Yeah, it was just weird because it was like so inconsistent on the 2-pack version.
And the belt is a different color. And
yeah.
Well, Robo from the Flushid pointed out that this version is supposed to be like his charred version from the end of the movie, but then some of the costume designs are from the first movie, the second. Some of the costumes is from the first, even though it's supposed to be a second movie Deadpool. It's weird. It's like it probably has to do with reuse on the mold, I would imagine, but it's not 100% accurate for those that actually absolutely have to have it be 100% accurate.
I think
It's
it's
not-
good if you didn't buy the 2-pack.
Right.
Next picture.
I would
Alright.
buy this if I saw it in the store. I wouldn't mind having a Deadpool.
But you would want the small unicorn in case you ever get
Next
that Severo
picture.
figure.
Next picture.
I don't know what I need a unicorn for.
So MODOK is actually going to be. This is kind of cool because they're going back to like unique price points. I think he's supposed to be like $50.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this box is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they said they weren't able to put a window on there because of some reason.
And well, probably because they're pushing their we don't want plastic on, which I feel like action figure swap outs, you're gonna see them.
I was shocked that he has double jointed legs. he can't walk or stand up.
But he can kick. He can kick his little feet.
They colored that face. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But the arms don't have any. What's throwing it off is the arms don't have any paint at all. The arms and legs.
I like that the joystick on his chair is articulated. It's on a ball joint.
And
Right.
what his name stands for? Murder.
Machine designed only for killing.
MO is machine.
What does it stand for?
Or it's or mechanical. I think it's like mechanical organism designed only.
For killing. I think you're right on that. But
If
I mean,
only
yeah.
we had some sort of
Alexis.
worldwide web of information that could.
my point is it's a killing floating dude with a bowl haircut.
I have
Yeah.
a question
What's going on
though,
there?
just
What
like, and before I,
Oh,
go ahead.
mental. It's mechanized organism designed only for killing.
There you go. You were
With a
really
bowl
there
good.
we go.
haircut.
All right, so let me ask this question before I lose it because and maybe we can talk about it later. With figure swaps, what happens to those? Like if you go to the store and you say like, "Oh, this is not right," and you take it to the counter and this was swapped out, because no one actually probably, unless someone doesn't know what they're looking at, buys it. But I can't imagine anyone actually buys them. So what happens to those figures? And then if you look at how many stores between, let's just say Target and Walmart, throughout the whole country, how much money is lost because they probably have to like write them off. They probably have to like throw them in a bin and write them off.
Some stores actually sell them for a reduced price.
Did you guys talk about?
So they still lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
They'll put a
here's what I'm
sticker on
saying.
it that says "as is."
So here's what I'm saying, T, and it,
Mhm.
like just cut me like a little check here and there for like royalties or something. You need the T-Man app, and you can go to the Walmart and Target Corporation and say, hey, every time somebody is returning something, you just send me a picture of what they're returning, action figure, and I will approve it or deny it, and I'll charge like 50 cents. You'll make a killing.
And
Did
you
you
could
see-
real quick be like, "Hey, that don't have the Build-A-Figure piece," and then
That, yeah,
you can
exactly.
flag it.
That ain't right.
Did you see what some Targets are doing now?
Mm-mm.
Well,
Where all
Selling
collected.
GI Joes. Oh no, wait, that's a
Oh
joke.
no. But no, they're stating and they're including, I believe, Marvel Legends in this. Some I think it might be NECA, but it's saying all collectible sales are final. Where they
Oh,
just won't
really?
take them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, like the people at the return counter, the like they're making minimum wage, and I'm not disparaging any of these people. They are working an honest wage. They don't know what they're looking at. Someone brings them a McFarlane box and it has a Batman in it, and they say, "Okay, it's Batman," and I'll return it for whatever reason. Customer's always right. There's a Batman in the box. There's a toy in the box, and they don't know what they're looking at, so they don't.
right.
Like you would think some of them they would look at and be like, "Oh, that doesn't look like the artwork like at all," but they just do it, you know.
Some of them do. Some people that actually know about toys, but like you're saying, somebody could be returning a Wonder Woman, and this would be in there. And they
Right.
just take it.
Right. What got me was the red figures. I said that like those $5 hollow non-transforming figures Walmart keeps right next to the Transformers is like, yep, you're going to see Soundwave, Megatron, and Optimus swapped out in the Transformers Red box, and like a week later, you did.
Yep, because at first glance they do look similar. I couldn't fault anybody for thinking they were not the same thing right off the bat. You know,
occasionally, yes, some things will look a little bit similar, but there are some swaps that are just so like
blatant.
Yeah, it's like, come on, seriously.
Well, some people replace the tape on there, and then they argue, "Oh, it's sealed," and they do such a good job of replacing the tape that the people at the store just don't notice.
I've seen Play-Doh replacing some of the accessories and candy wrappers and junk like that.
Sportimus says, I informed a Walmart manager of a Switch figure and they put it back on the shelf. I've heard a lot of people had that. And Nightwing says people have lost their honor. That is true. I remember years and years ago, like swap outs weren't a problem, but I'd see toys go back on the shelf that were obviously opened. I think the first one I remember really was like a Transmetal Rampage where they cut all the ties. And I was just like, who's going to buy this? Like, I guess someone opened it up and said, I don't like this. And they put it back on the shelf.
Full price.
Yeah. Next up, we get a Silver Surfer reissue. He was a cool Marvel Legends. With it looks like he's coming with the same effects that the new putties are coming with for his fists. I mean, seriously, this looks to literally be the same effect. But hey,
those effects came with like Sunfire or something like that.
They might have. Yeah, I think you're right. And of course, he comes with Mjolnir, and he looks like he's a slightly darker color. Next, this is House of M Xavier, and then we get a Cyclops. Cool that we get a Cyclops.
Xavier has the telepathic effect, and it doesn't look like jizz. It's actually rings going around and say they kind of brought it up in a live stream, but they didn't go into that detail.
They didn't say it doesn't look like jizz.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to say that.
And we could get, and I don't think we get enough Cyclops figures. I think Cyclops gets a bad rap because people think of Cyclops from the Fox cartoon, but the comic Cyclops is actually a pretty cool character. Then, of course, we're getting a classic Jean Grey, which is pretty awesome. And we're also getting a House of X Magneto, which, I kind of want them to just do a standalone Magneto in his classic colors, because I think the only time we've ever got Magneto in his, classic colors has been in the 3-pack. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're getting a Moira McTaggart. I wonder how these are going to be received on the shelf because they're not writing their names out.
Right. Oh, they brought that up in a live stream too. They said parents are going to be going crazy, but they thought it was cool. They were actually mentioning that she will be a good civilian body because you can take her arms off and take the jacket off and put the other arms on.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So that's what they're trying to say.
Here's the Omega Sentinel. He's probably going to be a hard one to find. And you, of course, can build the Tri-Sentinel.
The Omega Sentinel.
Oh, that's right. She's probably going to be a hard one to find.
That big giant hair on the second head.
Yeah. Tri-Sentinel looks pretty cool.
It looks like something from Transformers Prime.
I was gonna say that. It does.
Like a 3-headed Starscream.
Mm-hmm. And what's his name? Knockout. Just without the fin.
I already know people are going to complain about the marbly plastic.
I don't know if it looked like that when they were showing it off.
What, marbly plastic?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it in the picture there. It's definitely got the marbling in it. That's never bothered me. I'm always surprised by how many people it bothers. And of course, we get a House of M Wolverine. This looks pretty good, but I mean, it's basically the same Wolverine everybody already has by now, with some minor differences.
The second head has a gray beard.
And it's really hard to see there.
I think he's smiling. They're like, he's rarely ever smiling. Ugh.
Now, we also had one that's not in the slideshow. A couple figures here. We get a classic Ultron. And they have some pictures of them out of the box. Did they say, you watched the live stream, right?
I think all he had was that render.
Yeah. Did they give any implication as far as like when he's going to come?
Not that I can remember, but I think that effect can come out the mouth and attach to the hand some type of way.
There's a good picture of how big MODOK's going to be in comparison. And of course, leave it to them. They don't have any pictures of Firestar on here, do they?
No.
No, Firestar was also announced, so you can actually finally get Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. And there's Moira as a civilian.
I can't wait to get Firestar.
The non-jizz.
And his eyes are shut.
Yeah. Matt can easily like turn this into a Joe figure.
Didn't Can of Beams make a proper effect for that? I feel like they did.
I haven't heard from him since that freaking Storm Collectible situation.
He's had some sales.
I don't think I'm following him either.
He just does at his own pace. And I think he also has some kind of like medical issues or whatever. So people I know give him a hard time because he doesn't sell enough stuff like often enough. But like he's just one guy.
Yeah,
you know,
simmer
doing
down
this thing for like fun.
Here we go. Here you go, T. Here's Firestar.
Miss Lion.
I love that they used a backdrop from the 80s cartoon.
That secret lair used to bug the crap out of me.
Because they just had a shitty studio apartment, and it was 3 of them living in there. And
yeah, I was like, how can they afford that? I used to think that even as a kid.
She looks good, but she's like, if you think about it, she's like a very plain figure. Like the paint apps on this are so minimal outside of like, okay, well, they did like the flame effect around the boots.
I think they made her more interesting, but I don't think she had that flared out collar in the show, unless I'm remembering wrong.
I'm going to check real quick.
I wish she had bigger fire effects.
I like how like when I type in Firestar, it just, did you mean did you mean Firestarter?
I feel like there's a song made about that.
From yeah.
I can't remember that movie. I need to watch that.
That's interesting. And of course, now it's like there's rumors that in Spider-Man 3, MJ is actually Firestar. That'd be weird.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all, where did Matt go? And second, I just happened to like see his Facebook post about a whole bunch of Star Wars shows coming out. Is that real?
That's real.
Yes.
Really?
That's really real.
Yeah,
So
Matt warned earlier that he was going to dip. I think the Cyberpunk finished downloading.
And the Darkwing Duck costume came out, and
I think it was probably more related to the Darkwing Duck costume. He went no vid for a few minutes there, and then just disappeared. So Star Wars Rogue Squadron. God, why can't I say that word? Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, Andor. This is too much. This is too much.
I agree. I think it's like when Marvel announced all those Netflix shows and people kind of got burnt out on them and just kind of stuck to Daredevil.
Well, Star Wars already went through this when they released too many movies, like in 1 year. Like, I agree with Ahsoka, Rogue Squadron, okay. Andor. Do we need a Disney Plus show about Andor?
No.
Lando, probably not.
If they bring in Donald Glover,
and we knew Kenobi was coming.
This is kind of what you know what my sentiment to Disney right now.
Is Kathleen Kennedy still
yes
like at the helm? I heard some kind of rumor that she was not making decisions anymore.
Yeah, I also heard that they're going to hand over a lot of the control to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Yeah, Dave Filoni. I heard a lot of that was
like
putting him in charge.
Wasn't Feige supposed to come in there some type of way?
I think for the movies, and then I think that after, I know Matt's gone now, it's like we can finally admit now that Rise of Skywalker was not a good movie.
I think I've even seen a lot of diehard Star Wars people pretty much come into that consensus.
It's funny how the narrative was last year. Like last year when it came out, I was like, nah, Rise of Skywalker is every bit as bad as Last Jedi, and people are like poo-pooing the notion. They're like, no, JJ did the best he could with what he had to work with, and now finally people are like, yeah, that movie sucked.
I liked Rise of Skywalker, except maybe 2 scenes.
Remember the articles from last year, like, move over, Baby Yoda, now we've got Babu Frick, and now it's like those were real articles. Now people don't even like remember. I saw a guy in Target the other day. Oh, what was the name of that guy? And he picked up the package. He's like, oh, Babu Frick. He was like in the movie for 10 seconds.
Yeah, this is way too much. Like if these are, some of these could be like little mini things, and that's fine. Like Disney's known for doing those kind of like little mini side story stuff. Like Droid Story, that can't be a full-fledged show.
Well, some of it's animated too.
You know what was a really underrated show? I was talking to a friend about this before the podcast. Anybody ever watch Young Indiana Jones?
No.
So Young Indiana Jones, or Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, they were like one-off episodes about Indy, and like they had several actors play Indy, and even Harrison Ford reprised the role for the show. But they were just like one episode, one-offs, like adventures of like Indy through like his early childhood when he was a teen. Like River Phoenix was Indy in like one of the episodes or 2 of the episodes. And I'd like to see like a show like that, like do episodes about like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like when he was like training to be a Jedi. You could even bring Liam Neeson back as Qui-Gon and give like some insight and make some of the stuff that happened in the prequels valid.
He needs some work.
Yeah. Of course, Ewan McGregor can be in it, throughout the course. Because like the whole thing was like for Young Indiana Jones, it was a very, very old Indiana Jones. Like he had an eye patch and everything, and he was like sitting on a park bench telling a kid about his adventures. And like you could do that with Star Wars. So.
Well, we're gonna get a Kenobi show anyway, so
yeah, with apparently Hayden Christensen in it. Like, in what way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
And I forgot about Young Indy. Is that on? I don't think it is, because I was asking a friend if it was on Disney Plus, and I don't think it is. I'll have to search.
That show didn't exist. It's Mandela effect.
They like once that's the excuse for not having it on Disney Plus. Is like, we've removed it from our continuity. That's like why they'll never have the Gennady Tartakovsky Clone Wars, like, which was awesome. But Lightning Collection Wave 8. We got a couple of Power Rangers things to talk about. It's a night. Shout out to Nightwing and them for putting these on my radar. We've got the Dino Thunder Blue Ranger. All these look good, mind you. The Lost Galaxy Red Ranger, he was in the 2-pack.
I like the green one and the pink one.
Yeah, the SPD Pink Ranger.
I don't like the Charlie Brown shirt.
It is kind of like a Charlie Brown shirt. And we've got the Zeo Green Ranger. Cool to see they're doing more Zeo.
Is that Adam?
Yes, that is Adam. So you can get your Johnny Young Bosch head
I might have
sculpt.
to buy that to replace Zach.
So we've got 3 of the Zeo Rangers now. Wonder if they're going to give Zeo Blue his signature weapon system count. Yeah, it's a good question. They really cheaped out on the Zeo Blue Ranger. And he was just such a boring looking figure, too. You can still find him a lot of places. Now we'll get into the exciting Power Rangers news. And we'll 2 news articles after that for wrap up the evening. But the exciting news article is last year Ace Toys made some third-party Power Rangers 1/6 scale.
Is Kevin in here? I wonder if
Kevin put these on my radar, and I know Kevin owns the Ace Toys ones. ExtraZero kind of had their mic drop moment, and they've got officially licensed Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. These look phenomenal.
More phenomenal.
More phenomenal.
They look better than those Ace Toys.
They look way better. I mean, these things, like, I don't know what it is, like, but they nailed the material. Like, that looks just like spandex. I have one.
It doesn't look like
scale.
Halloween costumes.
No, these like, if you didn't see the ExtraZero logo, you think these were actors in costume. Like that's how on the money these things look.
How quick are the Ace Toys when going back into the box, Kevin? 1/6 scale.
I really want to know. These things look great. I don't do 1/6, but
yeah, they look good. But that part is probably why I'm gonna skip them, unless they are the same price as that Snake Eyes.
Yes,
the Snake Eyes I actually pre-ordered because that's a great price. I think it might have been cheaper than the TV League figures.
Yeah, Sportimus, I'm not.
Don't be afraid of dolls. Some people call action figures dolls.
Yeah, I'm not into doll life, but there's certain things where it's like you want a definitive version of a character, and like these are definitely something that.
The only thing would stop me is I don't think they're gonna come with their faces. The faces are the main draw for me to get like 1/6 scale.
They are ExtraZero though, and ExtraZero does like to do a lot of accessories. So I'm sure that the Blade Blasters will probably function the way they're supposed to. They'll probably transform, or they'll have like a partial transformation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this. I'm glad that ExtraZero has the license.
What if they gave well, it is called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I was thinking, what if they gave the Yellow Ranger the male body?
That would be funny if they like went with the Zhu Ranger.
Go Zhu Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, technically the Yellow Ranger doesn't have the skirt, but yeah. Next up, we'll do one more doll life, and Hot Toys looks like they're going to be doing Cyberpunk 2077. This is the only image we have, but if you wanted a non-John Wick Keanu Reeves, they're doing a 1/6 scale Johnny Silverhand. And
his name is Johnny Silverhand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And he does have a silver hand.
He does have a silver hand. You know what? I said two more. I do want to look at this one real quick. Because I like Sentinel products. And this one kind of was cool. Sentinel's coming out with this.
Oh, I saw this.
Yeah, I don't know if like this is anything that's from a comic.
It does look cool.
Yeah,
It looks familiar. I think it must be from comic. I think.
Yeah, like an Iron Man developed, or a Tony Stark developed Iron Man armor for Captain America. And because it's Sentinel, like, you know, there's going to be a ton of die cast. The materials are going to be good. The articulation is going to be there. This one just looks really, really neat. I mean, all the poses they get this thing into. I'd like to have more Sentinel pieces. It's just they tend to be very pricey.
I think if I could be pulling this out of my ass, but I heard that they built a suit for Captain America for some reason.
Like, I love this pose right here.
Depending on what you buy from Sentinel, if you can catch them at a convention, you will get some ridiculous deals.
Yeah,
because they literally will, like, it's almost like you were in China, like at the actual store, and they tell you a price, and you can just say, nah, that's not good enough. I'll give you half price, and they'll be like, okay, you make a deal.
I'll tell you, like Baltimore Comic-Con, they were I don't think it was them, but somebody had a booth, and I got the Sentinel Mega Man for $35.
That Sentinel, damn, what the hell is that damn thing called? That Black Hawk thing, whatever it is that I have, I got it like half, at least. It was almost half price.
Oh damn! Did Tony?
And they probably still made double their money, but I felt like I got a good deal.
I thought Tony Lister. Oh crap! Storm Games Go dropping some bad news on us. Tony Lister died.
I don't know who that is.
It was Debo on Friday.
And Zeus and No Holds Barred.
Yeah, and he had a
guy on Dark Knight with the lazy eye on the ship.
Yeah, he was the one that like stopped he like stood up to like the prison boat. Like,
oh yeah, I know him. He died.
Yeah.
Damn.
He was 62 years old.
He worked with WWE.
Yeah, and Mr. McMahon does not value their health.
I was hearing somebody was interviewing him, and they was like, "Why is it that a lot of your people die early?" Oh yeah, he was in Fifth Element.
He may have been killed.
Oh, is that what the articles are saying?
It's saying that Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department are investigating this as a homicide.
Oh wow!
It just says that he was pronounced dead on the scene. Cause of death is yet to be determined. Wow.
2020.
Yeah.
Dude, 2020 is going to screw us right up until the end. It's not going to let up. But you know what, though? Like, I keep seeing all these people saying, like, oh, it's almost over. Like,
yeah,
it's like, just, that is an arbitrary, like, date that us humans have created. It doesn't mean anything's over. Like, we hopefully we can make 2021 better.
I gotta tell you, like, it's just funny in retrospect. Like, 2020 was supposed to be my year, and like, I was like gonna get out of like, I think anybody that knows me knows that like I was in a bad situation at work, where not that I was in any danger of losing my job or anything, far from it, but I was working like 80, 90 hour weeks. And I was just like, tired of my boss, and I finally found a way out. And it was like Thanksgiving last year. I was interviewing for the job I have now, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be nice. I'm gonna finally get out under like the thumb of my manager, and it's gonna be my year. And I remember going into the Baltimore office, and we had this guy, like his name's Dan, and he's basically like a real life, Alex Jones is a real life Alex Jones, but he's kind of like Alex Jones, just like, you hear about this virus that's coming out of China? It's gonna wreck everything. It's gonna wreck it all. And everybody thought he was this crackpot crazy guy, and it's just really fucking surreal that there's Dan this time last year talking about what was gonna happen, and he called it.
Yep.
Now he's probably like sitting somewhere really smug. But
He probably just knew it was happening, so he wasn't shocked.
It's not that he knew what was happening. I think he just kind of liked being a doomsayer, and he's
I was watching. I don't know if I talked to y'all about this. I was watching Rick and Morty, their last season, and I saw the air date to one of the episodes I watched, and Rick was yelling at Morty like, "Nobody's going out of here. Nobody's."
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. The Story Train episode.
And I was like, then I looked up the time frame, and then I looked at when the first report of the virus been in China. I think it was like after that. So I was like, how did they know that?
No, I think that what they did is they pulled a South Park, and they just did a piece of animation like last minute where they like dubbed it in, because it was like the post credits thing. But I know exactly.
It was before the timing. I'm gonna have to look it back up again.
No, I think it came out in like April, and at the time I was just like, man, you guys are going topical.
Yeah, that's not like The Simpsons have predicted almost everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like way in advance.
But I mean, back the old Simpsons, I think the new Simpsons tries to, but I don't know.
The new Simpsons, yeah, I can't believe they're still making Simpsons, but
yeah.
Animaniacs, their first episode coming back there, they said we record these shows 2 years in advance, so we're gonna have to predict some stuff. And I was like, half of the stuff they predicted actually happened.
It's nuts.
Sportivus says the reason why everybody got their Amazon orders canceled because the boat sank. Did you guys see that story about there was a container ship that it didn't sink, but there was a shit ton of containers that all collapsed and fell into the ocean.
Wow. That might be true for a lot of stuff.
Maybe that's where maybe that's where my nuclear blast commander is. It's at the bottom of the fucking Pacific Ocean.
And I do want to talk next week's show. I think we're gonna have to do our top figures of the year, and probably.
I was gonna say we're getting close to that.
Well, here's the thing. Next week is the 17th. The following week is Christmas Eve, and I don't think we're going to be doing a Christmas Eve show. And get this, the week after that is New Year's Eve, and I don't think we're doing a New Year's Eve.
So I guess next week's the
last show of the year.
I mean, we could always do a Wednesday episode.
We could.
Yeah,
or we could do that weekend. No, but then it would be 2021. Yeah, I don't know.
My job did something unprecedented, and they're going to give us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. They normally just give us 2 days.
Wow.
But I guess in these hard times,
I got Thursday and Friday, and then I'm probably going to take Wednesday the 23rd and Monday the 28th off.
Yeah, they give us Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, but typically, they'll if it's the day before a 2-day holiday, they'll cut us loose probably 1 o'clock on the 23rd out of appreciation.
Somebody had a Scrooge moment. This is the McFarlane.
Yeah, I don't want to get like copyright slammed again.
Oh no, we're not going to show that video.
We should. Yeah, that was so hilarious, though. I mean, he was, hey kids, you're gonna love this.
Okay, he's got a bigger cow than Spawn.
Look what the wings can do. Your childrens are gonna look at the feet
You
and
can
the
take it off.
rocket blasters.
And
I don't
Marvel
care if it
Legends
doesn't
does
scale or anything.
this. Right.
It's the biggest Batman you ever could get.
I think this looks good. I really wanted that Mezco Batman Beyond that they did a few years ago, and I just never could do it because it was like it took so many artistic liberties. I'm willing to put money down that he does an animated version of Batman Beyond because he's doing, look, he's doing Batman's out the ass or Batman out the ass. So I'm
Was
willing
the
to bet.
contract for 2 years?
I think so. And we're entering the end of year one now. But I'm willing to bet he'll do an animated version of Batman Beyond. I like this a lot, though, to be honest with you. It just seems like a very straightforward figure. It doesn't look like there's any sculpting that hinders articulation. And when he was going through like the features, I like the fact that he's like, "Oh, we're making it mostly matte, but we're gonna make the red part shiny."
Oh, another thing people complain about is the Batarang. The Batarang looks like his chest logo instead of how he iconically
Yeah.
And John, that was the worst. The best and the worst part of the video is just like, "Or you could glue the Batarang onto his chest, but I don't recommend that." And he literally fucking says that. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy even on? You make toys, or do you just like?
The whole time I was watching that, I was picturing that meme of the like, "Hello, hip youngsters."
Hello, my fellow comic book enthusiasts. Hey, Todd McFarlane.
I know all what you like about them toys.
Hey, you like Cyborg? I'm gonna make the Teen Titans Go next, and that's gonna be my whole line when the Batman license runs up.
That'd be horrible if his next figure was Teen Titan Go Cyborg. They'd be like, where's Robin?
We're not gonna make him. I don't like
Nobody
making
likes
Robin
Robin.
unless he's got Joker makeup on.
Well, we are getting Damian Wayne. I pre-ordered that. I just figured that's going to be Robin for Teen Titans.
Stop asking me to make villains that aren't the Joker.
We should have like the whole Justice League by now.
We should, but he's made like 40 Batman.
Yeah.
And we don't even have what's his name? Aquaman. We're getting the ground.
You know what's really sad though is like he's made like 40 Batman figures, but like he's still doing better than Mattel did. As far as making figures people actually want.
Yeah. We joke, but at least he is doing something different. And
I wish he would have got
well.
it sooner. He could have. We probably would have had the whole Justice League if he got the license sooner.
Yeah.
I was shocked he didn't start with Aquaman and Shazam.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd really like to see like a Shazam done with Zachary Levi's likeness, because that Mattel figure, like, ugh.
They did have the Mafex. That one looks good.
I don't know. I'm just excited for that sequel because we'll get like a Black Adam out of it probably. Like, I won't make Shazam, but I'll make The Rock.
Actually, wasn't didn't they say The Rock's gonna get his own Black Adam movie before he shows up in a Shazam?
I think Shazam's gonna get a different villain. I forgot who it was.
You would think that the very first Shazam movie would have featured Black Adam, and he's not going to show up until the third one.
Yeah, they make Superman. I mean, I'm sure they'll make it.
Yeah.
I think that it's so crazy, like the way the Snyderverse like wavered, and then it just like started to come back.
Yeah. You know, I just realized I haven't talked to you in like, well, on the show for like 3 weeks. What do you think about all these movies coming out on HBO Max? Like the entire 2021 slate?
I'm disappointed because I was looking forward to seeing Wonder Woman in the theater. Like I was, because like T and I have had this discussion, and I think the thing is like when you go to a movie theater, you like hyper focus on a movie. And I know there's some people that like want, and it's crazy too, because I have two of the best TVs money can buy. Like I have LG OLEDs in my living room and my basement now. And it's like, you know, people be like, oh, what are you complaining about? You've got, you know, good setup. But I love the theater experience. I love going with my girlfriend and going to dinner and going and seeing the movie, and like our phones are off and we're, you know, in the zone to watch a theater, and like the screen is so big. Like that's the thing. I cannot replicate the big screen experience. Like being hyper focused, not having any distractions. And then like you can watch a movie at home, but like typically like a movie, you know, you watch a movie on the couch, like you pause it, you get distracted. You don't talk about the movie at the end of it. And I love that experience.
Why don't you turn the phones completely off and leave them upstairs?
It may come to that. I may say like, look, we got to set a ground rule.
Don't pause. If you got to pee, you miss it.
Yeah, I like the theater experience too. I mean, instead of going to the movies with my girlfriend, I usually go with my boyfriend Matt Partsformer, and then we usually get some. You know, we go to the what's it called? It's like a Hawaiian barbecue place right next door. But you know, he could just come over to my house, and I have a projector. I have a HD projector in my basement. You know, I don't mind. I like having the option. I don't like that it's necessarily one or the other, or like you can only get it on HBO Max. I like having the option. And at some point during 2021, hopefully more theaters will be open and we'll be able to
I hope they
go.
survive.
Yeah, I hope they do. I mean,
right, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like I don't know why like they're in such jeopardy right now. They really need to go all in on the streaming thing. They need to stop fighting it. Like AMC theaters, all these movie companies, the theater companies need to band together, whether they officially merge together or not. But they need to offer like a monthly subscription. Like they've tried with the whole Movie Pass thing. The Movie Pass thing never really like took off. But they need to offer a monthly subscription that says, hey, for $10 a month, you get streaming and you get it on day one. For $15 a month, you get streaming plus one movie a month at the theater. And then for $20, you get 2 movies, so forth. Like, I think that would work. If they tiered it like that, I think that would work, and they get kind of best of the both worlds.
I think the big problem though is like the studios, like they need to get the studios behind it, because like that's the thing about HBO Max, right? Is it's really WB, and WB wants the direct sales through the subscriptions, so it'd be difficult for them to broker the deal. I think the other thing too is that like going and seeing a movie in the theaters, it kind of gatekeeps you from like spoilers and piracy. Like that's going to be the big issue. Is it's like, well, piracy is not really an issue when like we've got X amount of people subscribing to HBO Max, because like whether you watch Wonder Woman or not, you've already paid for the entry to see it. You know.
I can't make comments come up on the screen, but that MacMan comment with it.
As soon as you get married,
you go weeks without talking to your wife. I suggest counseling for those situations because that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Soaring Games Go says they need to release Black Widow. I think they should release Black Widow alongside Tenet, and I think like one of the biggest there were 2 big issues going on as we lowered restrictions. Number one. Like Planet Fitness is like kind of like my golden example. Like Planet Fitness had all these commercials going out like, hey, we're cleaning our gyms, We've got like extra precautions going on right now. We're distancing machines. So like AMC, Regal, Cinemark, all of them should have had ad campaigns to reintroduce confidence into moviegoers to say, hey, come back to the theater. And the other issue was like, I forget what the studio was that released Tenet. Maybe it was WB. But
Yeah.
like Tenet was like really the only movie that they came out with. I mean, Freaky came out as well. But in order to get people to go to the movies, you have to have movies for them to go and see. Like, you know, the biggest crime here was that like movie theaters were showing movies people had already seen. They were showing classics, a lot of movies that people already owned, or movies that were on Disney Plus.
That's true, but the very few movies that have released in theaters at what theaters were actually open, the attendance has been abysmal.
Right.
Like absolutely abysmal. Because believe it or not, people actually, like, the majority of people are not ready to go back to theaters. Like, there are some people that are going, and they should have absolutely the choice to do it.
That's my point about like having, excuse me, having those ad campaigns to get people's confidence to go back.
Yes.
You know, and that's where they missed the mark.
But speaking of Tenet, did you see what God, what the hell is his name? The director, Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan, yeah.
Did you see what he said?
No.
He said he on Twitter or something like that, or maybe Instagram. He was like, he said all of us, like directors, actors, so forth, went to bed, something, and I'm paraphrasing, went to bed thinking they worked for the premier studio, like movie studio in the world, and turns out they were working for the worst streaming service.
Yeah.
He absolutely, like, in one simple comment, like, torched WB. And I in a sense, I agree with him. The HBO Max is probably, like, as if you look at like Disney Plus, Netflix, they are way behind. But at the same time, like, I honestly can't think of any better way to boost like, I'm gonna buy HBO Max because I know that Wonder Woman's coming out on Christmas Day.
Just get Cyberpunk, and then you get your 30 days.
Well, I don't want Cyberpunk, so anyway.
What?
But Wonder Woman's coming out Christmas Day, and then all of the movies that are coming out in 2021 are going to be on HBO Max. So even if there might be movies coming out that I don't necessarily want to go to the theater for, I'll watch them on HBO Max. There are some that I would like to go, like, who made the comment? Oh, Jedi Mindset, Godzilla vs. Kong. That is something I want to see in the theater, in IMAX. Exactly, I agree. But there are other movies that might come out that are like, you know what? I'll just watch them at home. I'll watch them on HBO Max.
I just hope the theaters survive, because like, even if this stuff gets released digitally, I probably won't watch it at home just because I won't get the experience. And like, there's a lot of movies that I watch in the theater that I'll buy a copy of it, but strangely, I won't ever watch it at home.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. Maybe the theaters need to do something else to get people back in there. Like, maybe they need to offer, like, yeah, most theaters have already gone to the more spaced out seating,
yeah,
with reclining chairs, but maybe they need to go which sucks. They just pumped all that money into like retrofitting their theaters, and then this came along. But I don't know. Like, maybe there needs to be more like dinner and a movie thing. Like, maybe we need even more spaced out. Like,
I think drive-ins just need to make a resurgence, to be honest.
Drive-ins, yeah. I'm surprised drive-ins haven't really made a comeback. It's been all year, and I haven't seen anything in the news saying the drive-ins are a thing.
You'd think that, like, with places like malls going out of business, like, well, what comes with the mall? A large parking lot. And you could do a large outdoor multiplex by just buying up like the lot where a mall was.
Yeah.
And then people don't have to leave their car. Not only that, but like, you can also make it an outdoor concert venue. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
And the thing is too, with drive-ins, like, one of the things that made drive-ins so shitty back in the day was that you had really crappy audio. Like audio is like a significant part of the theater experience. And now almost everyone's car has really good audio, like
Yeah.
digital stereo, digital radio.
Not only that, but you could do like the audio through an app. Like you can have like a Bluetooth, like if you're in the proximity of the theater, like you could have it through Bluetooth. So if you don't want your car running, just have it all going through Bluetooth.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I figured that eventually over time that streaming was going to slowly kill the theater industry, and that the theater industry was going to shrink down to like a niche thing.
Yeah, that's why they wanted 3D to take off.
But this coronavirus situation has just kind of really accelerated that, and I don't know. I mean, like I feel like there's the studios want to have their own direct streaming solution. Well, at least WD or WB does. But what about Universal? What about, you know what I mean? Like
Paramount.
you would think that all these other, Paramount, like you would think that all these other studios would at least cooperate with the theaters and say, okay, yeah, we'll go along with a subscription program where the customer has the choice for $10 a month to stream it, and then for $15 a month they get a pass to go watch it in the theater.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I feel like if they do that, they also just have to make sure that they have the capital, right? I mean, like one of the things I like to say a lot about Netflix is with the advent of Netflix originals, they started spreading themselves thin, and it's like really name to me like the Netflix originals that are actually worth watching. Like every now and then you'll see a movie come out and it's like, okay, that's good, but like the quality isn't really there, and it's like they'll come out of the gate pretty strong, but after a while they start to falter.
The problem with the Netflix original, at least their series, has been they don't give them enough time to get their footing and establish like.
Well, now that they're canceling stuff left and right,
they're literally like one season, and it's like if they don't, for whatever reason, they don't see the numbers they want to see, they cancel it.
Yeah,
Altered
Carbon is a great example.
And I just watched a new series that came out this year. It was Away.
Yeah,
and it was like if most TV shows throughout, at least that I've watched, the first season has always been kind of hit or miss. You know, it's like the first season was always like find like what is it we're really going for, and usually by season 2 or 3, the shows normally hit their stride. And if they don't by then by all means cancel them. But most TV shows will hit their stride in season 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Star Trek Next Generation, my favorite show of all time. It really didn't. Season 1 was kind of like, what are they going for? Season 2 was like, oh, okay. Season 3, it really hit its stride.
Yeah. The Simpsons took a while too. Like the first 2 seasons of The Simpsons are rough, and then it was like around season 3 that it became like actually really subverted and tongue in cheek. Night William brings up a good point here too. He says streaming will die. I disagree. Streaming's in danger.
No,
but
streaming will not die.
I do agree that there are too many streaming services, and like now it's like we watch a lot of Food Network and TLC, and now like Discovery has their own streaming service, and it's just like kind of crazy to me that a lot of people, they canceled their cable in favor of streaming. And now it's like if you want to get all the content that's available for streaming, like if you want to have Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, of course you've got Discovery Plus, you've got Sci-Fi, CBS All Access, DC's got one. It's like you're gonna spend way more on all the streaming services than you would on cable. And I think that's like where cable should be like start saying, hey, we're going to price ourselves competitively, because like we just renewed our Verizon sorta. Like Verizon is month to month now. Like they don't do like their traditional packages, but it's like, why don't you guys just like say like phone, cable, and internet are like $99, and you'll really compete with streaming.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
almost like the cable companies just don't see their golden opportunity, especially with DVR and on demand. It's like you guys were the innovators of streaming. Like the whole thing was on demand was the original form of streaming.
There's
But the
always the
big
other
thing,
option that a lot of
Good.
people, it's not popular, but some people have been streaming for years illegally and
Yeah.
don't pay for anything.
A buddy of mine
Not
has a
doing
Plex
that.
server, and that's like how I get around Disney Plus.
Yep. But the big thing that streaming has going for it is you can access
Quality.
it, well, quality, and you can access it almost any way possible. You
Well,
can even watch streaming in your fucking car.
well,
Like
yeah.
most, like you don't have to have a freaking Tesla. Most new cars now are coming out with apps where you can stream. You can access YouTube. You can access Netflix in your freaking car, like your phone, your car, your computer, your Amazon stick, your Roku stick, your smart
Nintendo
TV,
Switch.
like your Nintendo Switch. Yeah, exactly. Your gaming console, your virtual reality headset, anything
Oh,
you can
that's
think
actually
of.
really awesome, by the way.
Yeah, you can access streaming. Like
Like-
that's why it's really taking off the way it is.
I will say, watching movies in VR is like the only way to get that movie theater experience. And that's another reason, like I'm going to go back and I'm going to sell y'all on the Oculus Quest 2 because like it's got spatial audio. So if you're sitting there, like the way the headset works, it's like you get audio depending on how your head's positioned. So if you're in like a virtual movie theater and your head turns slightly to the left, the sound's gonna be far more. It's like already simulated 3D surround, but it's going to sound more
Really?
prominent. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like next time you guys are over, I'm gonna like throw on the Quest 2. I'm like, everybody try this.
What if you and your partner have a headset? Will you be able to hear each other if you're sitting next to each other?
Like you don't put like that's the crazy thing. You don't put anything in your ears.
Oh.
At all. It's like that. So like, fuck. Let me go get the thing.
Can you? Can you as an option?
You can. I'm gonna go grab the headset real quick. I'm gonna show this thing off.
I think Nightwing. I think it's confirmed. Zero is definitely on.
I'm
the
shilling
Oculus
for-
payroll.
I'm shilling for Zuck. So
He's gonna learn how to not blink.
yeah, and awkwardly drink water. So
Yes.
my case right here. Case is not included.
Do you have a promo code?
No, I don't. So on the inside of the headset,
Fat Zero.
So
That's the speaker.
that's the speaker. So when you wear it, it's like it's not in your ear, but it's close enough to your ear that it actually generates like a realistic sound. So it sounds as good as an in-ear
You
headset.
got to
would.
bring your own Lysol, Kevin.
We have plenty of wipes. You got to remember, I live with a healthcare worker. So you've got plenty of Lysol wipes all across the house.
Is Kevin allowed at your house?
Kevin is allowed at my house. Kevin is very welcome at my house. It's not just he's allowed. And it's like my next door neighbors are black, so it's like
Kevin is the only person to make himself not allowed. What's good?
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Like I said to everyone earlier, stay tuned because I'll put up a video sometime in the next couple of days that'll have the details for the end of year contest for a figure action hoodie. Maybe we'll throw in another goodie with that. We'll see.
Can I enter? I don't have a hoodie.
I'm working on it. I'm working on finding one.
Have like your son can enter. Any of your kids can enter.
Families
man,
allowed to
watch
enter?
I mean,
Wow, that's corrupt.
it's corrupt, but like, like we'll put them on the spot if they win. Like, oh man,
We'll guilt them into giving it
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Joe, isn't this your wife?
No, I don't know her.
When did you get a hoodie, T-Man?
Yeah. But yeah, look for that. So have that notification bell rung. Anyway, it's been a fun show with everyone tonight. Thanks again to everyone in the chat who's hung out with us, participated, and make sure you hit that like button or Kielbasa slam that like button. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you ring that notification bell. You're going to need to know when that hoodie video goes live. And as I said, we'll see you guys all next week. We're going to put together a top figures and maybe a worst figure of the year for our personal tastes. It'll probably be a mostly discussion video, and it will probably also be our last video of the year. So well, except for an announcement winner for the hoodie. But stay tuned for that. Anyway, great hanging with y'all. We'll see y'all right here next week on the Figure Action YouTube channel. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.